So you said that you changed completely style once you went to the desert. Was it in California, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you go in touch with these virtual reality paintings, and I was scrolling through your Instagram and your website, and it was super interesting to see your painting coming alive. And so I want to ask you, how did you come up with the idea? What was the reason behind? And how do you manage to bring these two things together, which is the classical physical painting and with the most modern way of painting that we have right now, which is VR paintings? And so what was the story behind that?
Yeah. So I was in an artistic crisis,
Mm.
and I didn't know what to paint anymore. I lost my subject, and it didn't make nothing. Everything I touched, it was like it was shit, basically. Yeah.
Mm.
And so a friend told me, like, Dennis, you should go to Los Angeles, for a change. And I thought, okay, so leave Berlin, and I have to go to Los Angeles. And then, of course, what you do is you apply for a grant, if you want to,
Yeah.
as an artist, to go abroad. So I applied for a grant, and I had to come up with an idea of what I want to do in Los Angeles. So I thought about what could I do there, and then I thought about I will update Rodin's Gates to Hell, and I will put them in the Mojave Desert in California, so that it marks the end of the Western civilization, because the settlers moved west and they couldn't go further west, right?
Mm.
There's the Pacific, and after that it's east again, it's
Yeah.
Japan. So I thought, Rodin's Gates to Hell, they should be at this threshold and they should be open so that you can walk through to the other side. And then I had the problem conceptually that if the portal, I call it das Portal, if it's open to two realities and it's standing on the threshold of two realities, it should be built in a medium which is present and absent at the same time, because
Mm.
it belongs to two realities, right? So you can see it, but you also can't see it because it's part of the other reality.
Mm.
And then for 5 years, I was hanging out in the desert and couldn't do anything because I didn't know how to build something like this. And then eventually in 2017, they came up with a virtual reality headsets. Suddenly, you could buy them in a media market or something, yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, and then it immediately clicked, and I thought, yeah, great. There's a 3D painting program in these classes. It's really cheap, and I painted the Portal, like my version of Rodin's Gates to Hell, in the virtual reality headset. So the virtual reality became the other reality of my art project. And I painted it in 3D, which I thought is pretty amazing in itself, that you suddenly can
You
make a
can do
line
that.
in the air, and then you walk around it. I thought,
Mm.
crazy, yeah. And so I painted it in the virtual reality, and then I placed it with a GPS-based augmented reality app at this place in the desert, which is called California City. There's a little hill in California City. California City is a failed urban development project from the 50s, so you
Mm.
have a lot of empty streets laid out in the desert, everything with street signs and everything, but no houses. Yeah?
But
So
no
I thought,
houses.
yeah, so I thought it's a perfect place for the portal. Like it's also
Yeah.
in a state of in between. So everything was in between. Yeah, and so then in augmented reality, you can see the portal on your phone. So I built an app, and you augmented reality, you mix the real world with the digital world. It's like a
Mm.
hologram based there.
Yeah.
And you could see it, but only when you were there, because the app reads your GPS coordinates. And then in this way, in augmented reality, things are there and not there, because you see them on your phone, but you can't see it without your phone. So you have both at the same time. And that was the solution for my problem, and it triggered a whole lot of creativity for my painting. So I started to paint again,
Mm.
and like mainly in the virtual reality at first, and then I thought about how can I materialize the things that I paint in the virtual reality in our world, because you come to my studio, you see nothing because it's all digital,
Yeah.
you have these glasses or something. And so I thought, if I want to transport the digital brush stroke into our reality, it should become really thick. So I want to give it back its body, because the digital brush stroke just looks thick because of the shaders it
Mm-hmm.
has, but it's super thin, and it's fake. And so, yeah, and this is how I came back to painting, and it was very refreshing for my paintings.